Hi everyone, I hope that you're doing well and thank you for watching this video. In today's video, I wanted to talk about my recent dietary choices. At the very beginning, I want to tell you that I'm not a dietitian and not nutritionist. However, I do have a very deep knowledge and interest in nutrition and holistic well-being. So there is something that I've recently discovered. I heard about it a long time ago. Since I started practicing it, my gut feels better, my overall well-being is better, my digestion improved, my hyperacidity improved, and my skin health improved as well. And so I thought I will share that with you, and you go ahead and do your own research, talk to your own nutritionist or family doctor, see if that would work for you. The very first thing, obviously, that you will get when you are researching about healthy eating, you will get an advice to eat more vegetables than fruit and fish. If you can, refuse animal products, meat, dairy. You have different advice from different nutritionists, but this is not something that I want to talk about. So this is the very first step perhaps towards a healthier lifestyle. However, what I've chosen to do is to eat when I'm hungry and not to eat on perceived schedule or the schedule that is socially acceptable. So we are all are expected to eat breakfast when we wake up, then lunchtime at certain hour, and then dinner. Also, some of us do snack throughout the day, and I was doing just that and I wasn't feeling well. My digestion was just going out of the box. I really felt ill. I felt that I had indigestion, I couldn't sleep, I had hyperacidity, and I always felt low on energy, and that was one of the main things that put me down, that I always felt sluggish. So as I started exercising more and eating the way I eat now, I really feel a big difference. So the very first thing that I do in the morning when I wake up, I take a warm glass of water with 1 spoon of vinegar and 1 spoon of honey, and I drink that. I know that it does sound as if it's not tasty, but to be honest, it tastes just as well as apple juice. We very often eat because we are not hungry. Most of the time we are thirsty. That's number one reason. So if you ever feel hungry, try to drink water, and that usually solves the problem. Other reasons are such as social or boredom, especially if you are at work, you are doing monotonous, boring tasks, you will find yourself snacking and being hungry all the time. In general, if you think about it, if we were living more like all of other animal kingdom does, they eat when they are hungry, and that is the way to go forward, at least in my view and from what I've read. Another thing that I started doing recently is to eat not until I am full. So this means that I try to eat smaller portions and keep myself just a little bit hungry. I don't want that fullness feeling anymore. I don't want to feel that I have indigestion and heaviness after a meal. And I received this book from my friend. It's called Ikigai. I will make a book review on this, and in this book they suggest eating until you are 80% full. Other nutritionists suggest that we should eat smaller portions. This means that we should eat a portion of our stomach size, and our stomachs usually is, if you put your hand into fist, you will see how big is your stomach. So this is the portion that we are advised to have with every meal. I also changed how I look at food overall. I know that food can be joyful and it's really nice to enjoy the flavors and savor the experience. However, we need to remember the very first thing, that is the primary thing why we are eating. We are eating to fuel our body. So think about it. If you are a driver, if you have a car, if you put the wrong type of fuel in your car, how far would that go? It will malfunction eventually and it will break down, and then you'll have to fix it. There's the very same thing with our bodies. It's important to look at what we are fueling our bodies with. And I'm not talking about being 100% on this, and you know, you don't have to beat yourself up if you eat occasional cookie or occasional chocolate or chips. We all do. It's very difficult to stick to it, but as long as you are conscious and as long as you are aware of that, you will eventually make those choices more often. Maybe a good idea is to ask yourself, if you are about to eat a cake, think about it. If that is a craving, ask yourself, is this something that my body really needs? If that's something that it will appreciate and flourish from. And in most of the cases, it's just going to make unnecessary fat, spike your insulin levels, and will not do any good. So going back to eating when I'm hungry, the idea behind this way of eating is that our bodies are self-regulatory, so it will tell us when we are hungry and when it needs to be fueled up. The main thing is to stay a little bit hungry, not too much hungry where you are feeling fainting or you start getting stomach ache or anything like that. It's just within the comfort zone. Do not stay overly hungry, because what's going to happen is that your stomach acid will go up and it will irritate your stomach lining and the stomach wall, and that will make you fat. I know that there are certain times that it's socially acceptable to eat and socialize, but it is not reflecting your body rhythm. In reality, we do eat far more than we actually need to survive and thrive, because if we do eat too much, it puts us onto the other side and it depletes us of energy, and we feel fatigued and down and very heavy and low of energy. From what I've learned is that when we eat, when we are not hungry, it destabilizes our system and puts us out of balance. And oftentimes we are quite busy, especially me, and I feel that working on a different schedule than my husband is a benefit, because I don't get to eat breakfast, lunch or dinner with him most of the times. So then it becomes easier for me to follow my gut and follow my body and really listen to it and eat only when I feel hungry. Also, when I feel hungry, I question it. I also think that whether it is stress related, if I feel anxiety, if I'm just thirsty, then I try to do some other things to relieve that instead of just binge eating. Again, this is not a suggestion for you to eat that way. This is something that I have adopted and it really worked well for me. But again, you can have different medical conditions, so you really need to speak to your doctor and see if that's something that would work for you. But I do feel that we eat more than we need and too often, and we deplete ourselves from the life force and the life energy. And since I've changed my ways of eating, I feel so much better and lighter. And if you do decide to go for it, do let me know how you feel and how you're getting on. If you are the person who already is doing that, please share your tips and thoughts on that. And I hope you take good care of yourself, and I will see you in my next video soon. Bye bye for now.